This is all the best things to do on your trip to Cape Town. I tested out all the most popular things to do in Cape Town, and I'm going to give you our full guide and honest opinions. So make sure to save this for your next trip to Cape Town and use the timestamps on screen now to skip to the activity you want. Probably the most well-known activity to do in South Africa is to go up Table Mountain. The first thing you need to do is pick the best weather day for this, because if it's overcast or cloudy, you won't want to go. It's only worth doing if it's very clear so that you get the proper view and the proper experience. You've got two ways of getting to the top: hiking to the top or taking the cable car. We opted for the cable car, which costs £20 per person, and I recommend booking in advance on the official website because it can save you a bit of time on the day because you don't have to queue up for tickets again. We got an Uber to the cable car station and arrived there at about 7:45 because the first cable car goes up at 8 a.m. and I do recommend being the first in line to go so that you get a really chilled experience and that you don't have to queue too long. We went on the very first cable car and it was so nice having basically the top of Table Mountain to ourselves. Also, bear in mind that you can do a nice little loop walk. It's a very easy walk, but it is uneven ground, so don't go in stiletto heels or sandals. Next is Lion's Head hike to get to the top of Lion's Head. Most people do this for sunrise or for sunset, but there is a couple of things you need to know. We got an Uber to and from the trailhead, and I do recommend doing this early to beat the heat. It's quite a strenuous hike with lots of climbing involved as well. It took us about an hour and a half to get up and about an hour to get down, and as I said, it can be quite tough, so doing it in the midday heat would be an absolute nightmare. If you are going to do it for sunrise or sunset, just be aware that you'll need to have everything you need to walk down or up in the dark, and please don't do this hike by yourselves. It's definitely not advised to do this alone, as people by themselves have been known to be targeted by crime, but me and Luke went up together at quite a popular time and we found it completely fine. If you are traveling solo, you can book group hike sessions on Get Your Guide, and I would highly recommend this. We saw loads of people walking past, nattering away, and it looked like such a nice experience. Next is doing the Franschhoek wine tram, which is a beautiful wine tram in the wine areas of Franschhoek. It's like a hop on hop off bus where you can go to different vineyards throughout the day. You've got a couple of options. You could either Uber to and from Franschhoek. This is quite an expensive option, especially if there's only one or two of you, and bear in mind that Ubers can be a little bit sporadic on the way back, so expect a little bit of a wait. We personally booked a city sightseeing explore pass, which cost £72 for both of us. It was a really good, great value pass. It included our return transfer to and from Franschhoek as well as the tram pass, but I will say I would have preferred if it was just a little bit longer, maybe an extra hour or 2 hours, because I was not ready to leave when it was time to go. Another option is to stay in Franschhoek as well, which I think I would really recommend. It's absolutely beautiful, and I feel like being able to soak it up for longer would have been amazing. And I have posted a full video on exactly what we spent on Franschhoek and how we did it, so check that out for more. Another highly recommended thing to do is Robben Island. This is, if you don't know, Robben Island is the prison where Nelson Mandela and many other freedom fighters were held, and it's absolutely fascinating. I personally recommend going as early as possible. The first transfer is at 9 a.m, so book it in advance and book the 9 a.m. transfer. It can get booked up a couple of days in advance, so you've got to be organised. It costs £27 per person, and we booked direct with the Robben Island Museum, and you can do it online as well. And the reason I recommend booking the 9 a.m. one is because it seems like that one is the more successful option. A couple of the ones later in the day can often get cancelled due to swells or bad weather, and obviously it's luck of the draw, but it seems like the 9 a.m. one has the best success rate. Again, I posted a full video about Robben Island, so make sure to check that out for more. Next is the famous Chapmans Peak Drive and heading to the famous Boulders beach to spot the African penguins. Chapmans Peak Drive is one of the most famous drives in the world, and for good reason. It has the most amazing views, and we really enjoyed Boulders beach as well. We personally hired a car to do this ourselves. We hired the car through Discover Cars, and it cost us £232 for 14 days, which works out around about £15.50 per day. We hired the car for this length of time because we are doing the Garden route after Cape Town, so that's why, but you could just rent it for the day otherwise, or there's loads and loads of tours on Get Your Guide and Klook too. I have posted a full video about Chapmans Peak Drive and about Boulders Beach. We basically stopped off in a place called Colks Bay for lunch, and then you could go on to then do the Cape of Good Hope and Cape Point, but we personally decided against that because it was £25 per person for a national park. And lastly, something that you'll see advertised all over TikTok is a viewpoint called the Rock Viewpoint, and it's often advertised as a hidden gem. I definitely don't think it's a hidden gem anymore. It was so busy when we went. It is a beautiful viewpoint to go and watch the sunset, but my nice relaxing idea of watching it just the two of us was definitely not the case. There was hundreds of people here, so if you are gonna go, definitely go quite a while before sunset to kind of claim your rock and claim your spot. Otherwise you'll end up like us, crammed into a small area trying to take a peek of the sunset that you can hardly see, and it won't be as enjoyable. In all honesty though, even though it's a beautiful view, because of the crowds, I would kind of just recommend skipping it and maybe going to watch the sunset on a beach instead, just because it's so much more wide space and it doesn't matter who else is there. Other great spots are Llandudno Beach, Beach and Camps Bay. If you've got any questions at all about our time in South Africa, please feel free to comment down below, and I'm actually posting multiple videos a day of our entire trip, so make sure to follow along for more.